Welcome back to another game of Age of Empires 2, and in the green today we have RoR Jon Snow, and he is going to be playing as the Goths, and in the red we've got Randomized, who will be playing as the Britons in the red. The map is Arena, meaning that we do have these big walls surrounding both of our players, of course, and we can actually have a look there, and of course around the outside of the map are these big forests. And we have this big area in the middle to have our little fights on and whatever we want. A few things about Arena, nice and quickly while we speed it up to get out of the Dark Age. Relics, very important. Generally the first things that players will do is get to the Castle Age and put up that monastery and start getting those relics collected. So let's have a look at where they are on the map. We have one over here near Jon Snow. Any over here? No, just boar. Looks like we've got one in the middle as well, and another wolf over here. So it looks like we've got two in the middle, if you want to say the middle, probably closer to Jon Snow. We do have one over here, and I really thought we had one over here, but it's just a wolf. One over here for Randomized. We actually have another two inside Jon Snow's base already. So the relic advantage is really going over to him extremely early in this game, which is something really important, because when you have two relics like this just straight off the bat, it means you're going to be in a lot better for the rest of the game, really, because your opponent at this stage can only get a maximum of 3 relics. Actually, that's not one there either, just my eyes playing tricks on me. But, of course, having those 2 extra relics, they mean they're yours. He can run straight out here straight away and try and collect these 2, and then if he gets these 2 as well, means he's going to have a lot of relics gold, which is really important in Arena, because games can really last a long time. So, something as well, we do have Goths versus Britons. Goths definitely having the advantage there, because as we know, the Huskell counters pretty much every archery unit ever made, so really, I don't think you would count hand cannon as an archery unit. The only reason you would is because it's created the archery range, I guess, but that's really the only ranged unit they can't go up against. That and mangonels. Mangonels, scorpions do a lot of damage as well, so Janissaries I'll go up against fine, but because of course they don't have the infantry attack bonus from memory, but nothing too ridiculous. This bit of wall here as well, just being annoying. So what are we going to see from both players? Generally the fast castle is in order because we are on Arena, and that means of course the wall, which you cannot get through in the Feudal Age or the Dark Age, really. Only time you really can is if your opponent accidentally keeps a gate open, which we have seen on occasion where someone will run out with their unit and the other person will run in, sit under it with their scout, and just sit on stand ground, and that scout will be there for the rest of the game. They'll just hold that gate open. Can be really interesting to see that, but I don't think we'll see any of this game. Both these players are quite high ranked at the moment. Randomized as well, being quite a big person in the scene right now. Nobody knows if it's a smurf or if he's just playing extremely well, because I think he went from 1.8 to like 2.2k in like 2 months. So that's a pretty good effort on his behalf. So either he's a smurf or he's done extremely well for himself. So I'm not going to say if he's a smurf or not, because I honestly have no idea. I don't really follow Arena, so not something I can really say for sure. So playing quite well though. Hasn't population blocked himself or anything, so we're all happy with that. Randomized, of course, going up to the Feudal Age already on 27. Looks like Jon Snow as well, 27. But he is a little bit behind, actually, so he might have a little... He doesn't really have better eco either. It just means, well, he's just behind. It looks like Randomized putting up a pretty solid game. And there we go, there's the advance, archery range, and a blacksmith going down, not the market. He has spent that wood to get that barracks up, which means we are going to see a bit of pressure out from him, either in the Feudal Age or really early castle. So he's going to be ready to go as soon as he gets to castle. Of course, that archery range, wanting to get those archery upgrades. Looks like he's going to be going for crossbows. I don't think he's going to be trying to get a castle up. No, another lumberjack there. You're going for an early castle. Doesn't look like it. You're going with the blacksmith in the market, of course, allowing you to sell, buy resources, etc, etc. And at the moment, 28 population for Jon Snow, Randomized on 29, and already headed up to castle, so he's playing quite a solid game here, actually. Minimal idle time. I recommend watching this back, actually, if you're trying to minimize idle time in your town center. This is actually a great timing. So, continuing to play it out. Anything interesting going on over here? No, hasn't taken stone yet. You haven't taken stone yet either, so it doesn't look like we're going to see a castle drop. Both players looks like they're going to be going for siege workshops and monasteries. Monks being an extremely useful unit type for an arena, probably the preferred push as well. Let's have a look at what we're going to see here. Archers have been done, of course, having that +1 range because he's now in the castle age, going to be incredibly helpful to help defend this middle area. What are we seeing? A monastery is going down, and looks like he's just securing these relics right now because he does want his opponent to get them, and yep, out comes the monk. There we go, straight off the bat. Oh, an idle villager. He hasn't got loom yet, actually. That's the reason he advanced so early. That's an interesting one. I don't know whether he's just forgotten it or he would know. I'm sure he would know. I just don't think he's expecting any of his villagers to be under attack so early, which is a decent plan. Unless you get attacked by a wolf, which in case you can be in quite a bit of trouble. Is he going to hold the gate open? No, he's not going to go for it. And town center is going up over here on the gold and stone. Are we seeing anything else? No. 2 town centers going up for Jon Snow. So it looks like both players at the moment are going to be going for quite a heavy eco. But only 1 town center from Randomized right now, unless he's got one up that I cannot see. Siege Workshop going up forward. He is going to be trying to put on some pressure now. No crossbow upgrade yet, which is an interesting one. There we go, finally. And I'm looking for another town center to pop up, but no, not going to see one. He might have even sold 100 of that extra stone to get up into the castle age a bit earlier. No, he didn't. He's putting it up there, so it is going to be an eco versus eco game, which is something good. And this villager here potentially in a lot of trouble, actually, only on that 25 hit points. Looks like he probably should have tried to finish the villager in that situation, honestly. Crossbows at this point having 7 range, going to be great for them. Mangonel, of course, being produced because you can't kill it off with a Mangonel, which is really the interesting thing. And it looks like he might lose a villager. No, he's going to get out of here. But he is going to really hurt the amount of stone that can be mined at the moment. And of course, as Goths, when you're facing an archer opponent, you need to get that castle up early, because that means you can start Anarchy, I think is the tech we're after for that one, where you can build huskarls from the barracks. A very, very important tech. And is he going to get the mangonels with this one? Is he going to get it? Oh, missing that one, getting one. Is he going to get this one as well? No, but we did see some houses come up behind here really quickly, blocking the entryway. And, oh, getting a great Mangonel micro here by Jon Snow so far. Either Randomized as well, doing quite well. The push is working out for him, and that monk just making it out of there. Got to be really careful with them. Will he get no 2-for-1 deal here. And getting one. Is he going to get the second one? Paid for itself. There you go. Right now as well, I'm really keeping an eye on this stone count. So I'm expecting a castle to come up somewhere around here to defend this push quite well. But, you know, nothing too ridiculous. And have we seen loom for you yet? He's got loom. Alright, he's not going for whole game no loom. I don't think he's expecting his opponent to push out at this stage, but still, you know, it happens. That monk as well, having that 9 range, having a great line of sight on it. He should be able to see exactly what's going on here. Yes, he knows that one's there. And scout cavalry there, because of course he managed to convert one, which means he doesn't have a stable. And getting another one with that Mangonel being absolutely great at the moment. And villagers nearly getting hit there by those Mangonels, but no, it looks like... And there's the castle. The castle is up right now. Let's have a look. We should be seeing this get flooded with barracks as well. Yes, the barracks are going up. Are we going to see Anarchy? Is we going to go for our champions, which could be an interesting combination, actually. But, you know, up against crossbows and longbows, it's going to be kind of hard to just pull off an old champion mix, so I think he might have to go for Anarchy. And again, just continuing to push him through here. Randomized just doing such a good job on his economy right now. I'm just trying to keep an eye out, see if anything's going. Is he still on the 3 town centers? Yes, he is, and he's doing the damage, of course. He's just preventing his opponent from doing anything. He's got 4 Mangonels right now, and it looks like the crossbows will be going in. They have taken a little bit of splash damage there, but nothing too bad. And of course, having that 7 range means they're going to be absolutely great. Could even go for the bodkin arrow, give them a little bit more range and attack power. Something really interesting. Still no Anarchy right now. It does cost quite a bit of gold, actually, that tech. So we could see it a little bit later in the game. Could even just see skirmishes for now, but saying that, we haven't even seen a archery range go down yet. Mangonel as well could be an option. Putting an outpost up here, though, he wants to see what's going on. And what is the plan from Randomized right now? It looks like he's going to be going for a pretty big archer combination, just buffing them as much as possible. But he hasn't done many upgrades. He could be going for a fast Imperial, honestly. Let's actually have a look. He definitely. Yes, he is going for a fast Imperial, already halfway there. Jon Snow just advancing up now. And of course, he's going to get that +1 range again for going up into the Imperial Age. So they will have 8 range going up. And then, of course, you do have the Arbalest research to get, and Bodkin Arrow, as well as Braces. They will have a lot of range when he's done with this. And it looks like this gate will be taken down over here. Squire's tracking. I don't think we've seen Anarchy yet. We have seen 2 techs, which are really important. And saying that, what are we seeing at the Blacksmith's? Chainmail, which is extremely, especially when going up against archers, something that you just really need. You need that extra armor on the infantry. And here they go, 6 plus 2 armor on these guys, quite a bit. And actually taking quite a bit of damage from the mangonels there. They might not survive this one. And light cavalry, not even light cavalry, just of scouts. And getting 1 convert, getting 2 converts on them, not losing anything in that engagement. Actually, was that 1 crossbow there? It looks like he lost 1, maybe 2 crossbows. Pretty sure he only had 4, didn't he? So he would have lost 1 crossbow in that, no big deal. Randomized just putting on so much pressure here. He's doing so well with the score. Let's actually check the populations. Jon Snow on 96 to 146 for Randomized. Definitely playing a good game here. And Man-at-Arms. And what are we seeing from you? Barracks. It looks like he's going to be going for champions to fight off those Huskarls. But what do you know? Jon Snow, seeing this already, deciding he's going to go for his own champions, or at least 2 hands at this point. Something really, really interesting to see. Iron casting as well, so they've got that +2 attack now, which is quite important. Looks like he got, what am I thinking of? Heresy? I think that might be the technology where they die when you convert them. It looks like it was either that or he just deleted it manually. Something you can do if you're really expecting it. And of course, having those 2 relics of his own, that means that we should have 3 down here for Randomized, which means he should have quite a good gold count and should be able to just flood champions at this point. We do have the double castle coming out as well as some trebuchets. Got that +4 armor, something that the Goths really do lack. Of course, if they did have it, just Huskarls would be so overpowered, but of course, 2-handed swordsmen, as well as champions, they would be overpowered because they're created so quickly, so they really do need that -2. Well, not the -2, but not being able to. Trebuchet's going up. Looks like we are going to see a massive champion fight here, which is something we don't see a lot because, well, champions just really aren't the unit of choice on Arabia Hun Wars, so believe it or not. And the 2 trebuchets going up in defense, something that we see quite a bit of, even on Arabia. These champions, well, 2 hands, stay chilling out at this stage. The upgraded advantage, though, is definitely going to Randomize. He does have that +2 armor on them, as well as monks and mangonels out here to help thin down those numbers. He does have some castles in the back as well. Could potentially start seeing some longbows as well really soon, because they are going to be absolutely great against champions. These mangonels right now, if they're just attacking right here, they're going to be able to do just so much. That splash damage is going to be so important. It's going to allow so much extra damage, and I'm surprised we haven't seen any longbows out yet. Looks like he's just continuing with that champion production, and he does have a lot of resources available actually. He's still got 2k food, nearly 1k wood. Saying that, I just saw a massive dip in the wood. Are we seeing any no archery range units yet? So of course he can just swap into Huskarl production and just absolutely massacre them. Champions though, definitely playing a good game here, both players. But Jon Snow is starting to really fall behind. I don't know if it's... I would say it's his eco that's really hurting him. And that early pressure, that's where he lost most of it. He does have these 2 siege workshops. More barracks coming forward here for Randomized. Still no longbows in production, something interesting. Champions, of course, just pushing back. And, of course, when you pull back, a Randomized is going to push forward. Mangonels have been lost, though. But, of course, that splash damage that they've been doing has been completely worth it. Could even see some scorpions later in the game. And still looking at the population, Randomized 180, Jon Snow 172, so it is quite close right now. There's definitely a lot more champions out for Randomized, not for Randomized, sorry. There would be definitely a lot more for Jon Snow than Randomized at this stage. Just, it could be the spread though, could definitely be the spread of units, but we'll see. And only that +2, that's the thing that's really hurting them right now. It's the fact they don't have that extra, well, +1 armor at this stage. And this mangonel here, this could actually do a lot of damage. Yes, that splash damage is going to make them fall a little bit easier, which is why he's not even backing up for months. And no production though. That's not looking good for you. This could nearly be over actually. Randomized superior economy might be the reason he takes this one. And over again. Keep checking for longbow. longbows or any archery range units, because once they come out, it's going to be pretty much a GG, because he's going to have nothing he can do against them. And trebuchets. Trebuchet v Trebuchet. Looks like these champions over here are definitely winning the fight right now, pushing Jon Snow back to his base, back to the defense of this castle. More barracks coming up for him in the back now, and Jon Snow, let's check that production. Nothing, 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 nothing. Champions are being critted. Does look like he has perfusion. I think he does, just judging by the creation rate. It definitely looks like he has perfusion, actually. For those who don't know, perfusion being the Goth's unique tech. The second one, they do have two. They have anarchy and perfusion. Perfusion barracks work 50% faster, which is a really interesting one. And here's a little bit of trivia for you guys out there who don't know, just while watching this fight. Huskarl from a castle, Huskarl from a barracks. If you have both of them there, double click one. They show up as individual units. So you can't double click. Really annoying thing for them. So, you know, if you ever want to use that, feel free. I won't claim it. Champions, of course, just pushing in through here again. It looks like Jon Snow is managing to hold it out, but until once... Oh, there we go. That's what we want to see. The longbow is out. 5+4 range on him already. Conscription finally being done. And there's another castle back here, or where did that one come from? Well, we'll just assume it came from here. Population limit, looks like he is just letting these champions wander off now, because he is starting to produce longbows, and of course those longbows are going to be able to just absolutely destroy these champions. And I'm interested to see if Jon Snow just resigns as soon as he sees him, because randomized superior economy at this stage is just absolutely destroying him in the scores, and that just +2, well, +1 at this stage, extra armor on these champions is just absolutely hammering him. He's about to lose this castle here as well, which is really going to hurt for his defense. And champions, of course, just reinforcing, because, well, you Goth player, why not? Surprised we actually could have seen some hand cannons. I don't think he has a university yet to get that tech, but hand cannons could have been really useful in this situation, especially against champions. Just looking for other things, anything's going to change, but if we look at this, just queuing, I think we can tell who's going to take it. Just by the amount of queued up units we have here. The pressure is not going to stop right now from randomized. And here come the longbows. Here we go, seeing that damage now. Of course, only having 8 attack compared to the 17 of the champions. But then again, they're ranged. They can take them out. They do a fairly good job at that, especially longbows, as we know. Definitely the longest range unit in the game for an archer, because of course we've got trebuchets on 16, but still having that 10 range is absolutely great on them, especially once you go up to elite as well. It gives them just a little bit more punch. Only things that they really have to be careful of is mass mangonels. Deleting off some of his walls there so he can try and get a better surround on this, but at this stage it's looking kind of bad for him, because like I've said, we've seen the queues that Randomized has up here, we've seen the fact that he's switching into longbows now. 5+5 range, we know how that is going to end, and just seeing back here, just going to be able to pick them off like we're seeing here. Just giving that little extra bit of damage before they even just catch up to him. Longbows right now, and I was seeing less. Ballistics is being researched now, which is a really important tech for any archery range unit, as well as chemistry, giving that +1 extra attack. And more longbows in the way. Trebuchets at this point just hammering it. I think Jon Snow is going to have to give it up soon, actually. He doesn't have a lot he can do. His economy is pretty... it's not bad, but it's got nothing on randomized. He doesn't have a lot he can do, especially now that randomized is moving into that longbow combination, which is a pretty big deal, because of course we do know that unless you have anarchy, you're going to have a lot of trouble actually dealing with them as Goths, because there's not a lot you can actually do. I can't remember if they get siege ram or not. And there we go, Jon Snow resigning out, knowing that he can't do anything with the big amount of champions here. So again, another game that I always get nagged for is Arena. So there you go, please enjoy it. And well, I don't think there's much else to say, except actually tomorrow is Father's Day. So to all those fathers out there, have a happy Father's Day. And yeah, have a good day.